away. Hi guys, I'm Max and this is Sophie and welcome back to our van build.
This is going to be a wonderful week because we are going to be fitting our appliances. We're going to have a cold fridge. We're going to have light switches that work. It is going to be a fantastic time.
It is.
And I'm going to have beer by the end of this week. Cold beer.
Yep.
In the fridge.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So what I'm doing at the minute is looking at some more of this conduit that we have that I'm installing kind of on the top back side of this cupboard for us to run various cables through, so we can then put the cover on and have them kind of all, well, from where we look in the cupboard we'll never really see it, so it's all nice and neat and tucked out of the way. It also means we can stuff this cupboard as full as we want and we don't damage any of the cables or get them wrapped around anything, because they'll all be secured up and out of the way. So yeah, installing this now. Sorry I disappeared for a minute there, because where our cables come through for our lighting, I drilled a hole out in the back of our conduit and I've put a little cable grommet in there just so we don't scuff any cable edges. So that there. So now I'm ready to install it. So now that is all attached up and in, I'm just attaching some cable tie mounts and cable ties to these cables. I'm going to peel them off, stick them up in there, and then we'll just roughly route them through the cable trunking over to where we need them to go. So now that we know how much slack we need to run up and over through that conduit, I'm going to go get Sophie so she can pull these big red and black cables down through there while I feed it through, which gives us our right amount of length down there at the bottom to connect up to the rest of our system. You're being filmed.
Hi. Stopping. Black one.
Blick.
It's coming. God, there is a lot of this one. There?
Yeah.
All the slack.
Sure what. So now that Sophie has helped me pull these two cables through, which are our positive and negative feed for our 24 and 12 volt distribution at the back of the van, I need to connect them up to our smart battery protect for the positive and our negative bus bar for our negative.
Okay, so the next thing we need to do is take out our LEDs. I know we just put them in, but we're gonna take them out again so we can actually solder them up so we get power to them. And because we put them in on those little clips, it's really easy. We just pop it out, take it over to the workbench and solder up the ends. So, new skill of the day, soldering. Let's get ready to learn. Every day is a school day. So we are soldered up, we have fed our wire through our cabinet. Obviously it's not fully wired into a switch yet, so I'm just gonna bodge some electricity and fingers crossed it all turns on.
Yeah.
Bodged.
You're on.
We're on! Wow, that's a proper orange glow, huh?
Take a step forward. Yeah, you're all lit up beautifully now. Ah, it's really cool.
How does the cover look?
Yeah, it looks good from here. It looks pretty well diffused.
Nice colour. It'll look lovely when this is all finished off. So we are finally at the stage where we get to wire in our appliances. It has been a long time coming. But before we can actually get, you know, like our fridge and stuff wired in, we need to make sure our cupboards are finished off. We need to, I don't know if you can see this, add in a base piece because we have this whole bit here where the door runner is, that isn't actually finished yet. So we need to cut that out. We need to then put the conduit in and get this all neat and tidy.
So we're going to use the same thickness plywood as we used for the cupboard bases, which is about 6mm, and that will be nice and sturdy enough to put a little ledge in there. Ledge. Is that a ledge?
True ledge.
It's a ledge. I'm a ledge. Let's do this.
This is such a flattering angle for you.
I'm sure it is.
I can see all your chins.
Oi.
Give me those chins.
Leave me alone.
Show me. Show me the chins.
Hold those cables up and out of the way. That is going to go roughly
Nice.
there.
So when this is all screwed in, it will be like a little shelf inside our shelf. I'm hoping this one gets to stay sort of open. Put a few plants in, make it look nice. It'd be cute. So the next step is to tidy up all the wires in this cupboard. We have a little shelf in, but obviously all these need to get tucked out of the way. So we need to run this conduit and get it attached in, and then get the wires into that. Beautifully organised cable into conduit in this cupboard, which is looking great. Max is just trying to push the front edge on, which is proving to be quite difficult. Are you happy with it?
I am. Very happy actually. Looks smarter than I imagined
It does,
would.
it looks really smart.
Can't see any light through it, so... Well, just that bit there.
Yeah.
But I'll fettle that. The rest of it. And from inside it looks really sweet. Really sweet.
Today's the day we finally get to wire in our appliances from our fuse boxes.
Yeah, so we've got down to our 12 and 24 volt fuse boxes, and now we need to go out to all of our lights and fridge and vents and all that kind of fun stuff.
Cold beers by the end of the day, guys.
Yeah.
Cold beers by the end of the day.
Let's go!
Let's go! So these are our two fuse boxes here. We've got our little negative bus bars, and we need to get our tiny little heat shrink ring terminals on and wire everything in, and it should be relatively easy. Touch wood. We've popped in some relays, so they're about to get wired in. You can see we've labelled all these with Max's Epic label maker. And the next thing, ooh, nice booty,
Pass me the snip, please.
is the fridge. So we've pulled the fridge out and we are sort of just dropping a little test hole in so we can see where the cable's going to come out, because we need to send it from the front of the van underneath and up where the fridge is. We're going to be using the hole that's already in the floor for the air lines for our air handbrake, and we're going to go in here. So I think our little hole's going to be that tiny one just there. So now we have a bigger hole.
Hopefully big enough for the cable.
I'm a poking.
Huh? Cool, that's perfect, I'd say.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think so.
So we placed that fridge cable in some conduit to protect it under the van, about halfway down between where we're going down from the fridge and up to the fuse box. We are also going to join in the cables for the diesel heater into this conduit, and then they'll all appear up at the front of the van, ready to be connected up to fuse boxes and the diesel heater control panel.
So because our diesel heater control panel is going to live in this cupboard up here, we need to splice in some extra cable so that it'll reach. So that's what we're doing here. Tell the people why you feel upset.
Because I've just spent half an afternoon, or no,
I literally think it was like 3 hours.
All afternoon under the van, on my back, pushing cable conduit through stuff.
Fun times.
I had to pee.
But it's here now. It is in the van. So this fridge is gonna get connected. So the wire for the fridge has finally made its way into the van.
Yeah!
And Max is currently running it through the panel so that we can fuse it up and hopefully turn it on.
We've not done any of the wiring at that end yet. But
Oh.
yes, once we've done all that,
Oh.
we'll be able to turn it on.
So we're about to make the connections onto the fridge. We are going to leave a bit of cable so there's enough that it can be pulled to here where it is right now. So that means if anything goes wrong, we can fix it.
So now that we have that connected up and a fuse in place, in theory we should be able to flick our isolator switch and the fridge should, Sophie's up there crossing her fingers, the fridge should switch on. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, isolator switch is on. What are you saying?
It's on. The lights just come on.
Lights on?
Lights just come on. Here we go. Ta-da! Yes.
So that is our fridge lit up and working.
Yes, cold beers tonight. I'm so excited.
Can't wait.
It is so nice to have like working appliances in the van. So
Yeah, it's good.
excited.
Ooh, the glow.
You're not supposed to be up there.
No? It might be the easiest way for you to do it. Well, what are you about to do?
Pull some cable through this pillar.
Yeah, so we're going to get from
Magic
there
string.
up to there. Because what's that cupboard behind you?
Oh, this one here is our electrical cupboard. It's not finished yet, but it will have everything in it that we could possibly want with a switch on.
And all our gauges and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we're using this string through the door pillar to pull it up.
Yeah. And my tiny hands.
Right, you get in position.
Okay, so some of our wiring is now up into this cupboard here, and this is where our sort of control panel is going to be. We sort of need to get that completed before we can do much more, which also means getting this base of the cupboard down. So that's what we're going to do next. So annoyingly, this piece won't go in easily, as always. Our runners are straight with the van, and we built our overhead cupboards to be straight. Problem is we've screwed it into a ceiling that is not straight. Our roof of our van kind of humps up a bit, so our overhead cabinets are not straight with this runner in here, which means we're going to have to paint some little shims up to fill in this gap here. So better get on with that. And obviously that gap doesn't stay the same width the whole way, so now we have a nice gradient of shims painted up, ready to go in that cupboard. Piece of wood is now screwed in. We need to cork up all these holes because that gradient is rather large. Well, it's not the neatest, but it'll do. Right, this base is in. We now need to wire up all of our switches to what will be our switch panel. We're probably not going to do the nice pretty panel today. We just want to get things working, ready, so we can move on to stuff like the bathroom. So let's get wiring. So what's the first thing you're going to wire up, do you think?
So we're going to have a USB in the back of this cupboard that powers a few things on our control board, like our Wi-Fi router and a few other bits. We're going to wire in the switch which controls the relay down there and the other USB that's in this cupboard for our projector and that kind of stuff, which is this diagram here. Once we've done that, we are going to wire up our under counter lights and then move on to our 12 volt stuff, which means running a few more cables from the 12 volt fuse box up to here and putting in switches and relays and control points for gas tanks, water gauges, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to probably wire our diesel heater controller up as well. We're just going to have everything up in here that we can control. So yeah, that's the plan.
We finally get to use our drawers. All the electrical gubbins is going in here now. Excited to use the drawers?
Yeah, I just filled them with stuff. Lots of unnecessary stuff and also some things.
Stuff and things.
So we have a USB up in our control panel working and now charging my phone, which is great. We've got the connection up to the diesel heater control panel, which we ran in that conduit under the van all the way up to here, which is all wired up now. We have a couple of switches that have started to be wired up that we are in the process of still doing that turn on a few different things. And we've wired up this dimmer switch, which is for our under counter LED lighting, which now if we turn, we have light.
It's very excited about it.
Yeah.
Especially because our first one didn't work, so this one is a win!
Light! No light. Light! Some light. Lots of light. No light. Everything we could ever need.
It's a glorious day outside today. It's still freezing in the lockup though for some reason, I don't know why. And today is the day we get our proper lights wired in, our proper switches. It's going to be a good day. Good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day to you.
So the shutter is open because we are expecting a really big delivery today. Looking forward to it. And it's kind of fitting that the sun is out because we are receiving our solar panels today. It's going to be awesome. We obviously don't have our roof rack yet, but it's going to be really good to see them, make sure we've got the right sizes, and start planning what we're doing with the roof. They've arrived!
So, Chris just dropped off our solar panels, so let's crack them open and have a look. Like a solar panel. So we've gone for 5 of these 175 watt mono solar panels, which is purely because they fit really well up on our roof. No other reason other than it was the best use of space that we had up there, really. And we got these beautiful shiny solar panels from Chris at Bespoke Solar. So if you have any van electrical needs, give him a shout and mention us and he'll really look after you.
All these details are down in the description below, so give it a click.
Boop.
Is there anything else you want to say about your solar panels?
I don't think so. They're beautiful and shiny and pretty. I'm gonna go on the roof, but I have to build a roof rack.
So now we have under counter lights and big lights on an actual switch. It's a miracle! So satisfying.
And also there's another switch near where the bed's gonna be that can also turn them on and off. Very happy with that.
Woo! So I think it's cause for celebration.
The celebration is our first icy cold beer from the fridge. That is freezing as well.
Yes! Cheers.
That.
Oh my god, it's cold. It's really cold. You're getting a tiny one. Cheers.
Cheers.
So here's our celebration.
First beer.
Yeah, mine's the big one because Max is driving
gone
home.
for it. Brilliant.
Cheers. First cold beer in the van. Yes. It's going to be a good summer.
It is. And that is where we're going to have to leave it for this week, with lights on and a beer in our hands.
Every thumbs up, I'll drink a can of beer. No, I won't.
That's a terrible idea. If you enjoyed watching us drink beer, hit that thumbs up button.
Yay! And we've got loads more fun stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're on a deadline track of doom to finished van. We are heading in the right direction now. So give us a like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, because you don't want to miss what's coming up. It's going to be awesome.
It is. So I guess we'll see you next week.
You stole my line.
Bye.